Welcome to Oregon.
Hey everyone, my name's Katie.
I'm Jordan.
And we just moved across the country from Tuscaloosa, Alabama to Portland, Oregon. I have lots of notes here, so I'm going to be looking down as we go, but I just thought that we would share our experience moving across the country for anyone who might be planning to move across the country. Give a little bit of tips, maybe. Learn from our mistakes, possibly. We also have a future upcoming podcast where we will go into a lot more detail, personal detail, about a lot of other things that happened within this experience. So whenever that pops up, if you guys want to go check it out, go check it out. So originally, when we look up the route, our trip was only supposed to be 1 day and 13 hours. So we already knew that wasn't going to be a thing because I can't drive. Jordan was going to be the only driver. So that was already going to be a lot longer than what we thought. We had already planned out our route, where we were going to stop, and we were going to be on the road for, so max we thought it was going to take about 3 days.
Not we.
Okay, I thought it was going to take 3 days. It took 4, and for a lot of reasons that we're going to get into. What? All of our initial thoughts of driving across the country were not what we thought was going to happen. Of course, we were excited. I was excited, at least. I was excited to see all the different landscapes and everything that I've never been out of the South. I think the furthest I've ever been out of the South before was in North Carolina. That's the furthest I've ever been out of the South. I've never seen anything past the South and North Carolina. So I was super excited. And I was super excited that we were finally going to go car camping. That happened. It happened, but not how we thought it was going to happen. Let's just get into it. The number one tip that I would have is to plan ahead. I mean, you're moving across the country. You're going to need to plan ahead a couple of different aspects of your trip. First, figure out how you're moving all of your stuff. Are you using a U-Haul? Are you using pods? Is that what you're going to do? Look at all of your options. We chose U-Haul.
I said to get a bigger U-Haul, but somebody thought we could fit everything inside the small one. Somebody.
Okay. I didn't think we actually had that much stuff. Little did I know we had a lot more stuff than what I thought we did. So that became a problem really, really fast because I thought Master of Tetris over here was going to be able to put everything together in this small little, 4x8 U-Haul. I even looked inside of it and I was like, oh yeah, that's fine. Because we weren't actually going to take everything with us in this one go. We were going to come back later and grab what we could. Well, as we were packing the U-Haul, it became clear very quickly that we were not going to fit everything in there. So after we got everything packed to the brim of our U-Haul, we had to start packing up the car, which is what we were going to sleep in. So that became, we only thought it was going to be a little bit of things at first, and we were still going to be able to lean the seats back, or no. No. It became packed very quickly. We were actually concerned about where Rascal, our dog, was going to go. He had a little spot in the back. He was fine. We'll get into a little bit more of that later.
He had more room than we did.
Yeah, Rascal had a lot more room than what we did. The next thing I would say is to plan your route. You want to figure out which way you're going to go. From here to somewhere else across the entire country, you're probably looking at least 2 or 3 different routes. You need to figure out where you're going to stop. How long are you going to go until your next stop? You need to figure out your gas stations along your route because there are going to be long stretches where if you're low on gas and you hit that long road, you're what, my friend? Apparently, when you are hauling something very heavy that wasn't properly installed, it kind of eats away at your gas. And so the routes that we chose for our gas stations were added onto, or else we were going to run out of gas. We were stopping for gas probably.
It was almost every hour, every 2 hours.
Yeah. And having to fill it up, and it brought our mileage down like crazy, like how many miles we can go before we had to fill up again. So that was
still
insane.
trying to work that back up.
Yeah, and we've been here for a little over a month. So for that reason, I would also say to set aside your gas money in advance and set aside a lot more than you think you're going to need.
And don't wait until you're almost on E to get gas, because we stopped at one gas station just to rest.
Oh, yeah.
And found out that the next stop that we were originally going to go to was closed because their gas line blew up.
Yeah, like literally exploded. If that gas station attendant didn't make us aware of that, we probably would have been stranded somewhere. So let's go on and get into our actual moving day experience. So to start with, our moving day turned into moving night. We were scheduled to go pick up our U-Haul at 7 a.m., which we did. Took a little bit longer at the U-Haul place than expected. I don't think we actually left U-Haul until...
They originally told us that it was going to be quick, but somebody else had gotten there before us, and they were being difficult. They got hooked up, and then decided they didn't want that one, and they changed it to something else.
Yeah. I feel like we didn't leave there until well after 9 o'clock.
Woo.
I feel like we didn't leave there till well after 9 o'clock.
No, because we were back by 9 because I tried calling you at like 9:14.
I don't know. I cannot remember. I do remember that when we were there and I was looking at the U-Haul, and I even said then and there, I was like, oh man, I think we should have got the bigger one. And he was like, it's too late to switch now. You know, it's couldn't do anything then. I also remember being the first one to realize just how low they put our hitch. Because I was like, I'm pretty sure the hitch is supposed to be a lot higher than this. It was crazy low. By the time we were pulling out of our driveway, like the chains were on the ground. We had to stop. I had to take them off, twist them as much as I could to put them back on. Like they were dragging the ground.
What do you mean you?
I
made
did.
me do it.
Huh?
You made me do it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, I can't take credit. That's right. I tried to. I couldn't get the thing. Okay, I lied. Okay, my bad.
But the hitch placement was fine. The fact is that when they put it, when they put the ball on, the ball should have went upside, but instead they had it still facing down. And that's where the issue came to play.
So the hitch being so low added in a lot of different problems, and I feel like it really added into our gas situation, our gas issue, for real. So after U-Haul, we got home, and this is probably most of my fault, but I had procrastinated severely on how much we had packed. I had a good bit packed, but there was a good bit that was not packed, and a good bit that was not taken apart and properly disassembled to be ready to be put into a vehicle. A lot of packing ensued after that. I spent all day packing and trying to, and the thing said, put the heaviest things first in the back, so that's what we did. So that's what weighed down the hitch even, but like our U-Haul was, I'm sure there's a picture somewhere that I could put in, but our U-Haul, you get it, it's like this. It was like this. So our U-Haul was very uneven, so that worried me even more. Oh, I didn't even get into us backing up the U-Haul. At the time, we had a car in our driveway area that we thought was going to be moved. So we had to maneuver around that car first. We had to back up this U-Haul. Now, I've backed up a trailer before. Like, I think it was like an 18-foot trailer that I've backed up before. It was super easy. And I was told it was going to be super difficult. I was like, I got this. And, I did it. So I thought backing up this U-Haul was going to be no problem. I was sorely mistaken. This was an issue. We could not get it backed up in the area we needed it backed up in. But we finally...
close.
Yeah, we got it situated. Our yard was very uneven, so we worked with what we had.
I say we, but it was you. You got it close.
You attempted.
Once.
We had a super late start. I don't know what all, I can't remember everything that was happening that day. I just remember we started a lot later than what we thought. We were wanting to be gone by noon that day. it had reached noon and we were nowhere near leaving. So then our next goal was, okay, we'll be out of here by like 6.
It was because they were still giving you paper checks and we had to wait until noon.
Okay.
Before you go get
There was a situation at the place that I worked at. I had to have a paper check in order to get my last check. For some reason, it couldn't be direct deposited. It had to be a paper check. So by the time we got back home and situated, I had to leave Jordan to deal with the first initial packing of everything while I went to town and went to go pick up my check. I go, this makes me so mad. I open up my check. It says $0. And I was like, what? $0? So then I go check my direct deposit. It was direct deposited. Why did I waste I could have been packing. I could have gotten so much done. I understand everything happens for a reason, but man, was this a day. So, didn't have to go get that cashed or anything. I already had it. That's great. Whatever. Then I went to go pick up a couple things, and then I went home, got to helping packing, and how was your extravaganza without me?
I don't know how to listen, and I moved a lot of the heavy stuff by myself.
Yeah. I don't know how he even did it by himself. We had one dolly, and in the place that we were living in, we have a large step out of our front door. I truly don't even know how you did that on your own. Like, some of these things, we had a brand new bed still in the box. We had, what was that other thing? A brand new mattress. I think the heaviest thing that you moved by yourself had to have been close to like 300 or 400 pounds. And I was like, how did you do this by yourself without creating a hernia?
I don't know. I really don't know.
So I come back and he's got half the U-Haul already packed with very heavy things. So hats off to you.
Yeah, and then not too long after you got back, my mom showed up and she helped us pack things up until she had to go to work.
And we still didn't even get to bring everything that we wanted to bring. There was bookshelves we had to leave behind, certain furniture we left behind.
You broke one of the bookshelves.
Yeah, I put a hole in one of the back of the bookshelves. Yeah, I did. Things happen that way.
Yeah, so we started packing the U-Haul at like 8:30, 9 o'clock. Texted my mom at almost 4:30 saying we're almost full with the U-Haul. And then she came over. That's when we started packing up the car.
I just started throwing things in there. Like, there was no organization to this anymore. Things were not going in boxes anymore. There was just throwing of random things into whatever hole that they could fit into. So you can imagine how
more stuff though.
You can imagine how fun it was unpacking it all.
Yeah, that part wasn't very fun. Always get a bigger U-Haul than what you think you need.
Always go bigger than what you think. It is probably going to be better and a better situation.
Just goes with that rule of thumb. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
What he said. Now we're to the point where we are actually starting to head out. And there's actually some drama that happens. If you want to find out about that, again, just wait for our podcast to come out. It'll be talked about more in the podcast. Don't know when all that's going to get situated yet. Just be on the lookout.
I did try to take a nap before we left because we did get up super early in the morning, and because I'm the main driver, the only driver. You went to go see, I think it was your nanny, while I was going to take a nap, but I ended up not being able to even sleep. I don't know if it was nerves.
Probably nerves, because you were exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt bad already that we were starting out the trip and he had no sleep. So I already knew that we weren't going to get as far as we thought.
I was hoping to make it to Louisiana, but we only made it to just after we got into Mississippi.
We probably made it an hour or two before we had to stop. What time did we actually end up finally leaving?
Just after 11 o'clock at night.
A lot later than what we thought we were going to be leaving.
12 hours.
Yeah.
After what we originally planned.
This affected a lot of different things. Clearly, no sleep. We had to stop a lot sooner. because of the sleeping situation, there was less sleep had. And we'll get into that in a sec. We arrived a day later, which I thought was also going to impact things, but luckily we had a really cool leasing agent who had everything taken care of, so hats off to him.
So we didn't really take into consideration that with pulling the U-Haul that it was going to drastically change our gas stops and how much gas we were going through. Originally, we were only going to have 6 stops?
I think there was 7. I think there were 7 gas stops planned, 8 at the most.
And we definitely exceeded that.
Oh yeah. I think our first stop for gas was originally supposed to be in Louisiana. We did not make it there.
No.
We stopped probably halfway in between that mark and then made it. And then again, we stopped several times in Texas, and it was madness. Like I said before, we were stopping every hour, every other hour, and filling up, and the miles that we could go until we were empty kept going down and down and down and down, and
everything we were trying just wasn't working. I put it on cruise control. I stayed in the slower lanes.
Yeah, we were
doing 65.
Yeah, we were going between 65 and 70 at first, and then we went down to see if that would do anything.
It was closer to the end of the second day that we found out to put it at cruise control at 55 and just stay only going 55.
Yeah. And so because we were going 55 all the way across the country, I can't even remember.
Well, it wasn't all the way. It was
I can't remember when it happened. It was somewhere in Texas, I think. Pretty sure.
No, it happened in Colorado.
Oh, well. Anyways, it was since Colorado then, 50. I think that's what added in so much time, that and stopping every other hour. So be aware of how much your car can pull. I don't even know how much weight we were pulling, but clearly our car was not used to it. I'm pretty sure we exceeded that weight limit. I'm pretty sure that's why that happened, because we were supposed to be able to pull so much weight.
No, I mean, even my dad said that, when he pulled his big U-Haul that he had, he was having the same issue, but he was able to put it at 60, 65 and be good. Just, I think because we did have the smaller one, that could have been.
And our vehicle doesn't have 4-wheel drive. Don't know if that has anything to do with it either.
I don't know.
We would stop at the gas stations whenever we could. We would try to wake up early in the morning and at least make it until later on in the night. Sometimes that happened, sometimes that didn't happen. We had to stop a lot sooner because we were running off a lot of nothing. And really, me as a passenger, I don't matter. I'm not the one driving, he was, so he was more important. But, rascal.
It's not his fault. He's just a giant baby. He doesn't understand that he can't be friends with everybody.
Yeah. Every time he would glance at anyone outside of our window, he would bark, he would go crazy. I understand we were in new environments. This was a new crazy thing happening. So he barked, he would wake us up. We'd have to try to calm him down. We were already in an uncomfortable position. We can't lean our seats back. We were scrooged up in odd position. I don't have any.
Scrunched up. I just kind of went like
Yes.
this.
He's over here just falling asleep in any position. He's over here snoring, and I'm over here
If my head can go back, I can go to sleep just like this, just sitting up.
I started getting sick. It was either the change in altitude, the stress of everything happening, the no sleep situation, or the fact that my nephew probably gave me the flu.
Because then he sneezed right in your face.
He sneezed right in my face right before I left, and he had the flu. And I mean, a couple of my family members had the flu, but I was like, it's my last day here. I'm sucking it up. We'll have the flu together, I guess. So I don't know what it was, but I started getting very sick. My nose was crazy. It was either stuffy or runny. My head was killing me. I was achy. And then I can tell you more about that situation and a little bit more, again, in the podcast. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because A lot of the detail that I'm going to get into in the podcast is going to be a lot more personal. We're just trying to get straight into the point here, even though we're rambling a lot. Trust me. So on top of that, I realized somewhere along the way that my legs started swelling. Like, they had been swollen. They felt weird. And
you had that strange knot.
Yeah. I had a knot on the back of my leg. I had like weird veins running through it. My legs were like twice the size that they should have been. So were my feet. You were having issues.
I mean, yeah, my one knee was really bothering me, and my forearms, I think that was my biggest issue, but that mainly started coming into play as we were getting closer.
Yeah, weren't they like tight, or you couldn't move them, or like they felt bruised or something?
Yeah, they were extremely tight, and it was almost like if you ever went to go work out and you excessively worked out and your muscles were extremely sore to the fact that even the slightest movement caused pain. That's kind of how my forearms felt as I was trying to drive, and holding onto the steering wheel caused even more pain. If I tried to rest my arm, it was still a lot of pain. You at one point were trying to rub it and like just massage it, but it was causing even more pain.
Yeah.
To do it, and they were swelling up. It was really just those last couple hours.
Yeah. I mean, we tried, taking Motrin, trying to get the inflammation down. Stretching and moving around a little bit more at the gas stations, because I'm pretty sure movement had a lot to do with the blood flow and blood circulation of everything. But yeah, so that happened.
You got hit before I did, though.
Yeah. I got hit. I started getting hit in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Texas is when I got, so like the majority of the trip, I was not doing well. But on the brighter side of things, the scenery we went through was absolutely beautiful. We went through a lot of different environments and changes in scenery.
Like desert areas.
Oh my God, I saw my first tumbleweed.
And it wasn't even just one. It was like a herd.
Oh my God, there was so many tumbleweeds. And I even sent the videos to my family. And they were like, oh my God, it's real life. It's just like the cartoons. So
I didn't think they were as big as they were, though.
I thought they were a lot smaller. And they travel in packs. Oh my God.
Yeah, so we drive like a kind of medium to higher end SUV.
Yeah.
And
some of them came up over
they were over
the hood of our car. We ran over some, and I was like, oh my God. And my mom's like, bring me home one. I'm like, do you know what lives inside of those things? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch them.
So we went through desert. We went through mountains. We were in the mountains, prairie areas and fields. We passed by those ginormous windmills. Like, the videos and pictures I have don't even do it justice.
And then it was funny because we went from being in Texas to having some snow, and then being in the desert, and then being back in snow, and then all of a sudden here's all these grassy areas, and then back into desert, and then back into snow.
Yeah.
Like, we just kept going do right down the line for it.
I'm pretty sure that altitude definitely messed with us a lot, because we were going up and down a lot.
So. Oh yeah, bring gum.
Oh yeah, our ears were popping like crazy.
I think the majority of the ride, after we started going through the hills, the majority of the ride, my right ear would not pop anymore.
Yeah. It was definitely a roller coaster. Yeah, I was deaf for half the ride at least. A quarter of the ride, maybe. Go ahead and talk about your situation.
So at some point in time, I think it was when we were going through Utah.
No, we were actually...
well, Utah was the first one, because we kept bringing us up the mountain. I'm like, when are we going to come back down?
We were either in Utah coming into Oregon, or we had just gotten into Oregon. Like, we were not, but like maybe a couple of hours away from our destination here.
Well, because once we got into Oregon, we started going downhill, and I was like, all right, because we knew that over here it was lower altitude than what was in Alabama, which was weird. And
didn't you see a sign?
Well, so we went through one sign that said, 6% decline. I was like, okay, no problem. So we were going down that one was fine. I'm like, yay, we're level. No more mountains.
Nay.
Yeah, we started going up a little bit, and I was like, okay, you know, I guess we can go back up some. That's not too bad.
And
Maybe it brought us down too low.
Then we went up a little bit more.
And then we started seeing more signs. And I read a sign that says, "This is your last chance." And I was like, what? Last chance for what?
I don't even think I got a picture or video of that one. I don't know.
Nope, you got a picture of the second.
I got like a blurry video of one of them saying, "This is your last chance to turn around." I think they were mainly aiming it towards truckers, like whoever's in an 18-wheeler, you know, a big rig, whatever you call it.
But then they even had signs for runaway vehicles. And I was like...
that, I think that was my first time seeing one of those things. That was crazy. It's like this giant hill that if you can't stop your vehicle, you're supposed to veer off, and it's supposed to stop you. And then you'll like go up so far and then come back down. And I seen tire marks that went up so far, and I was like...
Well, because I asked my mom about it, because I was telling her about it. She said those are mainly for the truckers to not run over the cars.
That's crazy.
And so we're going up. We're seeing all these signs. I'm getting a little worried. And we're seeing more signs for another 6% decline. I was like, that's okay. You know, we just went through one, but now we're still going higher, and we're still going higher. And I see the small little guardrail, and then I look over, and we're in the clouds.
Yeah.
Cars should not be where the planes go.
Like, we weren't just in the like we were starting to go above the clouds. Like, this wasn't fog. Like, this was not fog. This was the clouds. Like, we were up that high.
I wasn't happy.
So he couldn't look far past the road. He's over here having just a slight panic attack, and I'm over here just recording everything, you know, taking pictures. I think the speed
limit to go down the hill was 45. I did 20.
Yeah.
I put my hazards on it, and I was doing 20, and I stayed in the slow lane.
I'm pretty sure there was, like, truckers passing us and everything. I was like, you people are mad. Like, I was scared being the passenger. I can only imagine how scared he was. He definitely showed his fear. But it was insane. Yeah. And then we settled back down into flat land.
I was death gripping that steering wheel.
Yeah.
I ended up catching up to a trucker that was in front of me. He had his hazards on too. So I just kind of stayed with him. I was like, dude, where you go, I go. Please don't go off the road. Because I will follow you right off the damn cliff.
So that was that situation. We sadly didn't run into the wildlife that we thought we were going to run into. What all did you think that we were going to see?
I was hoping, you know, since we were going through Colorado, that I might see some bison, I might see some bears, and I wanted to see a mountain lion, you know. But of course, I don't get to see nothing.
We saw some antelope and some deer, you know.
I didn't even see any raccoons or nothing on the side of the road. There was nobody. Oh, well, no, we did see some goats. Goats were holding up a road.
Oh, yeah. Someone's goats escaped from their farm, like, on the side of the road.
And what was it?
There was also a herd of cows that had escaped, all right there on the side of the road. I was like, somebody might want to check on their animals.
Because we were like, is there an accident or something? Nope, it's just a herd of goats just hanging out on the road.
Yep.
We were like, okay.
Mm-hmm. But we finally got here, and we cut it pretty close. I didn't actually think we were going to make it. But we finally got here. I ran into the office. We got lucky with the time change. Yeah, we got super lucky because I think when we got into Colorado, the time went back an hour. And then when we entered in Oregon, it went back another hour, I think. The time change really saved us, or else we wouldn't have made it. Rushed into the office, let them know we were here, started, you know, the apartment paperwork because for some reason there was an issue sending it to us. The address wasn't correct. We couldn't get it situated, so we had to do everything here. And Rascal was in the car, and we already knew that he was going to be crazy, so we just did a one at a time type of thing.
Well, yeah, because we didn't want to leave him in the car by himself in a place that he's never been, and there were a lot of people still walking on the road, like up on the sidewalks and stuff, and...
Yeah, we didn't also want to leave our stuff by itself, even though we had to get back and forth, getting everything inside. But we were in quite the rush to try to get everything inside because we only had 24 hours in the little dock area that we had to unload of our stuff.
Oh no, that's right. Yeah, because then the next morning we took the U-Haul, and that's when we learned that U-Haul in Tuscaloosa should have flipped this hitch.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't want to leave our car there overnight. We wanted to be able to park in our safe garage and everything. Because I know Portland is known for some sneaky individuals, so...
Well, we were even told before we moved here that having your car broken into is a rite of passage here.
Let me know if that's true, because I'm just going to stay in our garage, okay? We got everything situated with the office, and then we started getting everything moved in, and we only had, the one dolly, but we got it. And this is all with swollen legs and nearly broken arms.
It was easier to a point to bring everything in because then we were able to stack things up on the dolly. We couldn't do that loading it because of the big drop in the steps.
Yeah, we had to. House. I mean, we did get kind of like what you just said. We got the stuff all stacked up on the dolly, but then coming into our door, there is a step. So we had to have some muscles to try to pull it up that step and then get it up. And it was a lot of back and forth, but we finally got everything. It felt extremely unreal that we were here. I couldn't believe it. It didn't feel real. It just felt like we were here. And there was a moment where both of us were like, what are we doing? Are we really doing this? Like, we're really doing this. We're here.
Well, then, even that same night, we were laying in the bed and we're like, so when do you think it's gonna feel real?
Yeah, it didn't. It took a good week or more for me for it to actually feel real that we were here, that we had moved, that we're in this new life, I guess.
Yeah, for me, it didn't really start feeling real until stuff at work started happening.
Oh yeah.
That's
more for the podcast. I'm telling you, guys are gonna miss some juicy stuff on this podcast episode if you don't watch it. Just seriously be on the lookout for that. I think that's about it. I said we were gonna give you tips. I don't think we gave you many. They're just our experience mixed in with a little bit of tips and tricks. So hopefully this was helpful to somebody. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you get something out of it. If anything, hopefully you enjoyed the pictures and videos that I was able to put in there. Be on the lookout for that podcast.
Another tip is definitely try to have a job before you out here, at least.
Yeah, I did try to get a job before getting here. It's very difficult if you're not moving within the same company like you were, because a lot of places are going to set you up for in-person interviews automatically. You're going to be talking to robots and everything. I made a lot of calls, I sent a lot of emails, and somehow I still could not set me up a job before getting here.
You did get one faster than some other people.
Yeah. I did think that I was going to have a job a lot sooner than what I have one now. I'm actually just now going to be starting my first day in the upcoming week. So just keep that in mind, that it takes a little bit longer to get a job here than you would think. I honestly didn't think it was going to take this long, so definitely keep that in mind. If you don't already have something lined up, don't hold it to fate. If I missed anything, or if there's any Portlandiers or Oregonians, whatever you guys call yourself, and you guys want to join our little community here I'm trying to create, then go ahead. Let's hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.